University of warm box of Krispy Kreme. The Buckhead moon shining down on P Street. Fine women everywhere, like living in the fantasy. Children playing in the fountains of Olympic Park, hanging at the underground club, popping at the dark. Atlanta, baby, ain't nobody above it. When Atlanta smiles, I love it.
Welcome back to the Black Atlas podcast. It's a new year, new us. Y'all see us? We official. Like you see,
Every camera.
Come on, we clean. So how's the new year been for you, Asia?
I'm over 2021. I'm over the first 10 days of 2021.
Why?
Just because it's been stupid. It's been so stupid. January 5th with the elections was annoying. Every day leading up to the election was annoying. January 6th was stupid. Like, it's just been dumb. But I'm not going to write off the year for 1 week. True. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I'm optimistic for the rest of it. But the past couple of days, I really could have slept and I would have been okay.
Well, today is a very special day. It's our co-host's birthday. Happy birthday, Asia.
Thank you.
Actually have something for you.
Are y'all serious?
Happy birthday!
Are y'all serious right now?
It's a vegan parfait.
Are y'all
and we can
serious?
find a candle,
Just gotta blow that out.
there you go. Make a way! Yay!
That was so sweet, you guys.
Yay! You're gonna have a wonderful year. It's going to be sweet and productive
That was so
and
sweet.
expansive. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. And I'm going to eat. I just said I was hungry and you
did.
knew you had this girl.
But you said you just ate sweet, so I was like, I bought her more sweets. Sorry.
Thank you, guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, 2021 is going to be better just because of that. Thank you.
Yes, agree. So we're going to go ahead and hop into our city trends.
C-I-T-I, City Trends.
Asia, what's happening in the city?
Y'all, welcome back. 2021. A lot is going on in the city. A lot is going down in Atlanta. A restaurant on Edgewood Avenue actually collapsed. Now, if you are someone that typically goes into the Edgewood area, I'm sure that by now you have noticed that the building, SoundTable Lounge on Edgewood Avenue, has actually crumbled.
No, SoundTable. I
SoundTable.
love SoundTable.
And it's right near Mother, all of that. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm sure it was very noticeable for anyone that typically frequents the Edgewood area.
I ain't been on Edgewood in a while.
I think you'll see it. The building's actually just been purchased by Atlanta businessman Greg Johnson and his wife, Noelle. And they were preparing to open a brand new cocktail lounge called Edgewood Dynasty in that space. Greg says that he had already hired 25 employees and was fully preparing for their grand opening when out of nowhere, the building started shaking and liquor bottles began falling off of the shelves. So that was like, ooh,
Wow,
what's
that's
going on?
scary.
What's happening? And the next day when he returned, he found the building had completely collapsed. And so thankfully, the building had already been evacuated. No one was hurt. But this was obviously a huge blow for Greg and Noelle, who say that they invested their entire life savings into opening up this lounge. So that is a huge hit to take. We still haven't gotten word on what specifically caused the collapse. However, there are 2 active construction sites around Edgewood Dynasty, or there were 2 active construction sites around Edgewood Dynasty at the time of the collapse. And both are claiming that they're not responsible for it. So this is probably going to be something where we end up sorting out all the different legal issues and the insurance battles. But Greg and Noelle have said that they're not giving up on the lounge and they're hoping to open up the building and have it rebuilt by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So good luck, Greg and Noelle. Edgewood, that's a hard hit because I know that's just noticeable. Like SoundTable, where the building actually is just a huge, it's like a steeple for that entire area. It's very noticeable. So I know that collapse took a hit, but we're hoping that you guys are able to rebuild, get that business back open so that we can come check it out by the end of the year. So make sure that you guys all go follow Edgewood Dynasty on Instagram. It is at Edgewood_Dynasty to keep up with the progress. And let's be sure to support them when they are back up and running.
Ashe.
All right, moving on to our next city trend. If you don't know, now you know. Pinky Cole has been giving back to the community. Have you ever been a slutty vegan?
I honestly have not.
Girl, you missing
The
out.
lines.
You missing out because I'm going today.
The lines literally are from one end of the street to another. They
But
take
it
up a
depends
whole
on
block.
the location. And the good thing is they're opening up multiple locations.
Yeah,
so
I'm
they
gonna have to try a different one.
go to the one on Edgewood. I'm so serious. Every time I go, I can walk straight in. It's limited on parking because you're on that main street, but it's so easy to get into.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't been to Slutty Vegan, I love the food. And overall, I'm a big fan of the owner, Pinky Cole. She gave back to the community in a huge way over the holidays by partnering with the Steve Harvey Foundation and Georgia Power to pay over 100 Atlanta families past due utility bills.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is amazing because not a lot of, if you really think about it, not a lot of small businesses thrived during 2020.
Yeah.
While she, on the other hand, was opening up shops, popping it up. So I just respect the fact that even with her building and growing in her own wealth, she still took the time to give back to the community. So much respect to Pinky Cole. I'm going to be there today to get my Slutty Vegan burger later on today. So
So I haven't been, but I've seen their menu, and I think that it's a really fun menu. Like they put plantains on a burger. I'm like, I'm a Caribbean woman. I'm here for some plantains.
And I like the names. Like one is the super slut, one is the hussy fussy, all of that, and really just the
bad
environment.
gal. Is that it? That's me. That's that bad gal.
But whenever you go in, the environment of Slutty Vegan, it just makes you want to keep returning. Like they greet you, they'll be like, "Have you been here before?" And if you're like, "No," we got a virgin in the building. We got a virgin. Okay. They call it all out. And I'm like, every time I go, I'm like, I'm an OG. Oh, we got an OG slut up in the building. Yes. It's like, okay, thanks. We don't have to announce that. But I really love the environment. I'm really excited for Pinky Cole. And I respect her even more now. And that's why I'm going to go today and get a burger because it's just that's a business I want to support.
Good.
For all that she does.
Good. Shout out to Pinky.
Yes, and Slutty Vegan. If y'all haven't gone, go get you some. Moving on, there is a new security plan for Buckhead. And I'm going to read this one directly off the card just because I don't want to mess any of this up because this is just such a touchy subject with everyone, with politics, with everything being so high, with defunding the police and things of that nature. So let's see what's happening in Buckhead. We've talked a little bit on the show ourselves about the uptick in crime that happened this past year and specifically in the Buckhead area. Well, to address this, the Buckhead community has rolled out a $1.6 million Buckhead Security Plan to help ensure resident safety. The plan includes the following. They plan on hiring a squad of off-duty officers to patrol Buckhead's commercial areas, installing new security cameras and license plate readers, giving gift cards, meals, and housing assistance for Atlanta police officers, cracking down on party houses, and enforcing the city's noise ordinance, and checking building permits of problematic establishments in the Buckhead area. A group of city council members have donated $125,000 in taxpayer dollars to help the city fund the security plan. They are also taking donations from the public as well. Now, all of this comes on the heels of the death of 7-year-old Kennedy Maxey, who was killed by a stray bullet outside of Phipps Plaza, and as well as all of the increased shootings that have happened around the Lenox area. So this is just a very touchy subject because I understand the need for security because every time you turn on the news, it's just crazy because the Lenox Buckhead area, you think it's so fancy and nothing bad would happen out there. But every time you turn on the news now, it's, another shooting at Lenox. Oh, the Apple store just got shot at.
Yeah, there's a lot of wealth out there. There's a lot of flashy things, So
I definitely understand it, but I just don't know how well it's going to sit with the community because there are also so many active petitions going on and things of that nature to defund the police. So it's just kind of how's that going to weigh out? We're now having the public and different council members helping to back up those funds when everyone else is calling for something opposite. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to go and really what happens at Lenox and Phipps and how that's going to play out. So it'll be interesting. But that is all that we have for today's City Trends. And we are going to move right along to our BBW.
I like my girls BBW.
All right, so our BBW of the week is the Better Buggy. We love to support Black businesses on this show, and we want to highlight this one because they're in the category of Black businesses that are typically difficult to find, Black farms. So Better Buggy is bringing fresh produce straight to you from Black-owned farms. All you have to do is go to thebetterbuggy.com, place your order, and they will immediately dispatch a driver to deliver your fresh produce. I love this. I'm super duper here for this. And they also do subscription boxes, which is a common thing nowadays. But the difference is it's us. You know what I mean? So that just makes it feel even better. And they are also nationwide, so it's not just in Atlanta. You can follow Better Buggy at The Better Buggy on Instagram and go ahead and place your subscriptions. I know I will be. And eat seasonally. And I'm pretty sure they have foods that are seasonal. It's better for the body. It's really important. That is it for our BBW, and we're going to go into our tea leaf discussion.
All right, guys, so it's the new year. It is officially 2021. So today for our tea leaf discussion, we wanted to discuss how we ourselves are planning to navigate this new year. So I just wanted to start by asking you, Kamei, do you actually set goals for yourself each year?
Sometimes. I really need to do more of that this year. I haven't taken the time to do that. I have a few that have like rolled on from last year onto this year. But no, I need to take the time to really write things out. Do you?
I think I'm in the same boat where I used to very consciously like, okay, it's December 31st. Let me get ready. What am I going to do differently this year? But I think over the past year, I really embraced the idea that time is relative. So even though, yes, it's a new year, it's still just another day. And so I've gotten to the point where I don't want to wait for the new year to start working on new goals because I feel like that's delaying it just for, oh, it's a new year. Let me get it. And it's just like, why don't I just start today?
Right.
And so I've no longer really gotten to a point where I consciously sit down and plan out what am I going to do for the new year. But just kind of as things come up, if I'm like, oh, I coughed there. I don't really like the way that feels. Let me get my health together. So then I try to like that next day, okay, what am I going to do for my health? So I'm no longer waiting for the year to kickstart it, but just as things come up, just start. Like that's kind of my mentality is don't wait another day. All I know is I have today. So let me start.
That's a great way to live. I changed my wallpaper on my phone to do it now at like 4:00 in the morning last night.
Yep.
It's like no more procrastination.
It's like for me, I want to get back on like working out, but I work out better around other people. Like I don't do well working out at the house. I'm not focused if no one's checking for me. But also like I'm not going to Planet Fitness. I'm not going to a gym, things of that nature. I just don't, my anxiety's too high to be in any of those places with COVID going on.
Yeah.
So I'm really having to think about whether it's setting goals for the new year, just setting goals in general. It's like, how can I set goals that I can achieve independently? And that's been my biggest hurdle because so much of me works better with a team. So much of me thrives more with other people around. So I think that's kind of how COVID has been really weighing me down as a whole. And like how you mentioned travel, like I want to get out and travel more. I've seen so many people like trying to do trips here and there, safely and cautiously. But it's like, I think I just shut it off. I was like, nope, not going anywhere, anything of that nature. But I can no longer do that just because so many people, unfortunately, have just died this year. And it's just like, who's to say that I have another year ahead of me and I don't want to not travel just because of that. So I'm trying to very cautiously continue to live life. I think that's probably my biggest goal for 2021 is to keep living because I think I definitely shut down 2020 and I can't do that another year.
Yeah. And it might not even be just a year. It could be longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could get to the point where you can't travel unless you have a vaccine. And I don't know how you feel about that vaccine. I ain't getting that vaccine. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like there's a very thin window right now of like, you either make it out now to the few countries that you can go or you just get the vaccine and go where you want to go. But then you have to deal with the changes that has in your body and your DNA, which I'm good on that. So,
That's real. And I think, I don't know, it's just a hard year because you don't know what 2021 has in store. Like we all were like, oh, okay, we made it past 2020. And then 5 days in, 6 days in, it's like, wait, this 2021, is this better? Yeah. Or did 2020 just turn 21 and it's about to act a fool? Yeah. Like, what is going on here? So I definitely feel you on that. But I think my biggest thing is just, I want to be better. Like if I had to say, what is my goal for 2021? I want to be a better version of me. I'm always trying each and every day to be a better version, do better than what I did yesterday. And I want to be my only competition. Like, I'm just so focused. And it might sound wrong, but I'm just so focused on me right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't worry about what other people think. I can't worry about COVID to a degree because that kept me from living all last year. So I'm just focused on, like, what do I need to feel fulfilled? And what do I need to not go crazy?
Yeah.
And that's my 2021 is just take care of yourself, be there for yourself, be good with yourself, and just focus on you. And I think that's my ultimate goal for 2021. If I had to set it, I'm probably not going to write it down. And I used to be I get a planner. Yeah. This is how we're going to do all this. I'm just trying to live by it. Yeah. And that's how I'm operating. That's the space that I'm in right now.
It's funny. I'm on a somewhat of an opposite end where I just be living by it. And now I'm like, organize yourself. Write some things down. Get your ass a planner. Like, these are on my list of things to do. It's a year of me being more organized and not so free. Like, I was very kind of like wherever the wind took me last year. And this year I have to be very, very like intentional about where I'm going, which I like what you said about we don't know what 2021 has in store. And we really don't. We never know what year has in store. But one of the things that we want to talk about today is numerology in terms of helping you plan. It's not that numerology is going to tell you everything that happens in the year. That's not what it's about. But it's about using the energy of the numbers and the patterns. So everything is in cycles. You know what I mean? Like, you got winter, that's when things die. And then spring, things start to come back. It's the same kind of seasons in life. And so you've got 9 cycles in your life. And each year has a new energy that it brings forth, right? So even though you don't know what's happening in 2021, you can look at your numerology chart to figure out the energy of the year, right? So when we calculated yours, what you do is you take your birth month, your birthday, and then the universal year. We're currently in a universal year of 5 because 2 + 2 + 1, so that's 5. Your birthday is January 10th, correct? So that's 1 + 1 + 5. So you're in a 7 year. Okay. A 7 year is a very introspective year, which you literally just said that you're going into a time of really focusing on yourself, of seeing what you need, and learning that you're good on your own. That's what the 7 is all about, you know? You think of the energy of 1. 1 is a new beginning. It's a time where it's just like open roads, a bunch of possibilities. For me, I'm in a 4-year cycle. AKA the cycle that beats your ass. The cycle is all about obstacles, like really truthfully. And I've seen this. So I don't know if I told you this, but a few weeks after my birthday, I got robbed at gunpoint. Yeah, my car got stolen a few weeks after my birthday. And your cycle begins on your birthday. Wow. So I entered my 4-year cycle rough. I've had obstacles. Like, it's literally is one thing after another. And if I allow it to, it will make me feel like the world is against me this year. It'll make me feel like, why are things so difficult for me right now? But what I have to do is, like I said, be really organized because I know there's shit coming my way, right? Okay. So now, instead of me being all free will like I was last year, or just kind of freely floating, now because I know I have challenges, I'm going to intentionally be more organized this year. I'm going to intentionally be more grounded and say, okay, I'm not focused on what was. I'm not going to get angry about what's going on. I'm just going to do my best to flow through it. So that's the energy that I'm coming into this year. And I have no way of predicting what's happening. I just know, okay, this is going to kind of be a tough year for me. So I need to make sure that all my ducks are in a row so that I can flow through it as easily as possible.
That makes a lot of sense. So I knew a little bit about numerology prior to us talking, but I only knew overall based on my birthday, including year, I'm a 7. Right. I didn't know that the number changed each year based on the year.
Yeah, so you have your life path number. So my life
path number is a 7 as well with 1994.
That's amazing. So you're a life path 7 in a cycle 7. So that means you're going to feel this really intensely. So the energy of 7 is just like doubled for you, right? So it's going to be very isolating. Like we were saying, hold on. I took some notes about 7 real quick. I'm no pro. I just like to learn random things. And I like things that are useful in my life. You know what I mean? And this feels useful. So yeah, it's a time of like we said, being quiet, and you don't need to make big decisions right now. It's not a time for you to go out into the world and decide to do something because you're so in your head. next year would be a better time for you to make big life-changing decisions. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. Last year I was in a 3 and I'm a life path 3. So your life path is basically the lesson that you're here to to overcome or to give to the world in some ways. Life path 3 is all about expression. Y'all saw me this year.
Yeah.
Y'all heard a lot of Kamea this year. You know, between my me launching my business, doing this podcast, you just saw and heard more of me.
Style.
Yeah.
Everything about you was more upfront. So I can definitely see that from what 2020 was.
Right, because I was a life path 3 in a 3-year cycle, right? Now I'm in a 4-year cycle. I'm gonna be a little bit more quiet. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get hit too hard this year, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. So yeah, I think that's one really great way. There are different resources. If you just, I think it's like numerologist.com. They do a whole reading of everything. And then there's also a really good book called Life Cycles. I should have written down the full name, but it's just called Life Cycles.
But I think it's genuinely helpful, like as you said, because you don't know what the year has in store, but knowing that your numerology has already kind of set the tone of what to expect, it makes things a lot easier. Because I'm not going to lie, like you asked me how it was the first couple of days of the year, I've just felt very lonely. Like just a lot of different things have happened in my life. I'm just like, dang, like, okay, we're not talking, cool. Oh, all right, cool, that'll work. And then COVID itself has just made me, I always thought I was such an extrovert, but COVID has shown me like, I'm really okay, like being by myself, but I'm not all the way there yet. Because instead of me being okay and feeling like independent, I feel lonely. And I'm very focused on changing the adjective. Like, I want to be okay being by myself. I don't want to feel like everyone's let me go and I don't know what to do. I want to be like, hey, no, I'm strong on my own. It's cool when I'm with other people, but I'm also okay being by myself. And I think knowing as well, with what you said from the numerology reading, it helps me to navigate this a lot better. Because now I'm just like, oh, you're supposed to feel like this.
Exactly.
Like,
so why don't I just make the best of it?
Like,
yeah, I'm going to learn from it. And it's funny, like I said, with cycles, like with whatever is taken away from you in one year is going to come back to you another year. So although you feel lonely this year, next year it's not going to be like that at all, Like I'm in a 4-year cycle. It's a lot of obstacles, things like that. It'll be easier for me next year.
I mean, I tell you all the time, you're an inspiration. I think and I don't ever want it to be like, to lose its weight because I say it so frequently, but it's just like so much about what you do and how you live your life. I just be like, one day I'm going to be that strong. One day I'm going to be that cool. Like, but it's just, I just have so much respect for you for even like, for you being in this year cycle, like you just take every obstacle that comes your way and you just kind of breathe through it. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that I want to learn from you is just how to deal with life, because that's what life is. Life's gonna happen to you. Life's gonna suck, but it's how you respond to it. And mine is always like worry, anxiety. Oh, shut down. Okay, going to bed for the next couple of weeks. But it's like I need to figure out how to stop living and keep living through whatever life throws at me. And I think you do an amazing job of that. So like I commend you for all that you go through, for all that you continue to live through, and like you really are an inspiration to me. And that's why I put you up there on that totem pole. Like you're my next step and where I'm aiming to be, because you can't get anywhere in life unless you see someone doing it. And I think that's why I really vibe with you so much, because you're already doing the things that I'm working towards getting to. Yeah. So just keep pushing. This year, we already know it's going to throw some more stuff at you. It already threw a lot. But I'm like, that was a big way to start.
I was like, damn.
The most genuine thing I think about you is that you are just strong. So it doesn't matter what's going to happen to you, because you already have the strength inside of you to overcome it. So keep pushing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, go ahead and get your numerology report. It's free on some random websites. Or hit me up if you want to talk about it more. I can help you navigate and find those resources. Just use it as a tool. Don't cling on to it and think that this is exactly how my life is going to go, but just use it as a guidance. Write down your goals. And like we said, take it easy on yourself, and give yourself grace and just come into it with optimism. So I'm looking forward to the next year.
Happy 2021, y'all.
Yes, yes. So that concludes our tea leaf discussion. We are wishing you the best 2021 you could possibly have. We're going to move on to our What the Health.
I feel great. I feel amazing today.
Yes. So our What the Health tip today is to take a nap. Rest. I know that we only did naps in like kindergarten and first grade. I don't care what they tell you. Adults need to nap. It is revolutionary to decide that you are not going to overwork your body, especially as melanated people. Our bodies have been overworked for centuries. Give yourself the space to nap. Don't feel guilty for resting. You don't always have to be productive. And productivity can look like different things in different ways. So rest your body, rest your spirits, and sweet dreams.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm a big time napper.
Me too. When we finish, I'm going to go home and nap. Straight up. I'm going to eat some food and take a nap. Yeah. So that is it for our What the Health. Let's move on to our brand new segment with Miss Motivate. Yes, some more to go. What we got?
Baby, I'ma be a motivation.
All right, guys. So this is our first time doing Motigo here on Black Atlas, and I'm super excited. Motigo is just a short tidbit of motivation. I go by Mrs. Motivate because overall my goal is to help spread positivity and inspiration and motivate people around the world that see this. So for our very first Motigo, I want you guys to start dating yourselves. And that follows along the line of our 7 numerology that we discussed, me feeling a little bit isolated and lonely this year. But I'm trying to change my perspective on that. I no longer want to feel alone or like I don't have people to go out with, but I want to be very okay standing independently. I want to date myself. So this includes things like going to the movies. You can do that on your own, going out to lunch, doing some painting activities, going for a walk. Just do more things on your own because you have to get to know yourself. I think for a long time, because I'm such an overthinker, and it usually leads to like, I have chronic panic attacks and things like that. And I think I've gotten them a lot more under control. But that's because instead of pushing away my thoughts and pushing away my emotions like I've done in the past, I've really taken the time to just sit with them. And so that's only possible if you give yourself the time to be alone. And so when I mean date myself, it can actually literally mean like going on things that you would do as a date and doing them by yourself, but also just like meditating, doing yoga, but do it by yourself. I think so much of who I was during 2020, I was very dependent on my husband. Like I wasn't seeing anybody else. I was quarantined all the time. So I would just be like, oh, you don't want to hang out with me? You don't want to watch a movie with me? Well, what am I going to do? And now I'm kind of like, I don't like your show anyways, so that's fine. I'm going to watch what I want to watch. Yep, go study. That's cool. I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to paint my nails. But really practice dating yourself. Get to know who you are, because the biggest thing that I tell myself is I came into this world alone, and God willing, I'm going to go out alone because I don't want to bring nobody else with me when it's my time to go. So I need to be very comfortable being with me and being who I am. And I'm hoping that through dating yourself, through getting to know yourself, you will be able to live your most authentic life possible. So that's this week's Motigo. Try dating yourself and see how it goes. And that will take us on to Lift Every Voice.
Lift every voice and sing.
The voice we are lifting up this week is Remarkable. You already know Remarkable from growing up hip-hop Atlanta. She's the daughter of legendary West Coast rapper Eazy-E, but she's actually an East Atlanta native. That's what I'm talking about. We're about to check out her new song called Ape Shit. I love a good drone shot.
I was thinking the same thing. Anything with the drone. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape shit. Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape shit. Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape shit. Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape shit. Get about your feelings, ho. Get in your bag, bitch. Money to the ceiling, ho. All I want is cash, bitch. Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape shit. Young bitch going ape, young bitch going ape. Louis Gucci, Fendi, gas, Chanel, drippin', bitch, I'm on a bag race. Valet park the whip and let it sack, fifth buckets for the bag date. Get about your feelings, ho. Get in your bag, bitch. Money to the ceiling, ho. All I want is cash.
I'm here for it.
All I want is cabbage.
I'm here for it. And I love her style. Because, like, I was listening to the song, but I was looking at the makeup. I was looking at the laid
the makeup
hair,
was super cute.
The
makeup was super cute.
So, yes, that is Remarkable with her new song, Ape Shit. Make sure that you go follow Remarkable on Instagram at I Am Remarkable. And make sure that you stream her new song, Ape Shit.
That concludes episode 6 of the Black Atlas. Happy New Year, y'all. We'll see you soon.
Peace.